Hello, hello, welcome. I am Jason Day. I'm a product designer at Atomic Robot, and with me I have Jonathan.
Hello, I'm Jonathan Leopold. I'm an iOS developer here at Atomic Robot.
All right, today I'm pretty excited to share. We are going to work on some watch designs for an app that Jonathan has created for baseball. So if you want to tell us a little bit about that, I think we'd love to hear about what we're going to work on today.
Yeah, I'd be happy to. I coach my son's youth baseball team. I'm the third base coach, and our fields don't have scoreboards. And so many times I'm wondering what the score of the game is so I can decide how aggressive we need to be. I also sit through my daughter's games and I wonder how many outs there are in the inning because they also don't have scoreboards. And probably how many apps are formed. I was trying to solve a problem. And so I decided to build a little watch app. It's pretty basic. You can do balls and strikes. If it hits a strikeout, it will increment the number of outs. If you get to 3 outs, it will go to the next inning. You can keep track of the score. And then the last thing, it's got a full scoreboard view, so you can look at the score inning by inning. And Jason, when you approached me, you're like, "Hey, do you have any ideas for a demo?" I said it would be great if we could use some of the new features in Watch OS 10 and maybe give it a little design refresh. And so I think that's where you came into play here.
Yeah. So I downloaded his app and I was pretty excited to see it because I recently worked on some watch designs for another app I've been working on. So I thought this would be a great opportunity to highlight Apple's new update and on a screen that he didn't have yet. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So I basically took some screenshots of the watch app he has, a bunch of different options here. And as I was looking at them, I thought it'd be kind of cool to have a home screen to kind of view everything all at once. So that's what we're going to create today. Is this little home screen with these links to all the other pages, the screens that he has put together. Before I jump into these designs, did you have anything else that you wanted to add?
Yeah, I was looking at the designs and it's awesome. I always love how the designers like break it down into color palettes and components and what have you. And so my question is on these colors, did you modify any of the colors or did you just reuse the colors in the app? I only asked this because when I was implementing, I was trying to keep it simple and the operating system, the watch, gives you default colors out of the box. So I can say yellow, blue, red. This dark blue on my screen, that is actually just blue with a 50% opacity.
Mm.
And so I was curious if you had modified any of these or if you just used the existing ones.
So modify is probably the right word, I guess, because I just basically took a color dropper tool that Figma has and pulled the colors that you were using. So when I pulled that dark 50% opacity, I pulled it as 100% opacity with the color swatch. So that hex code will be a different color because I didn't pull it as an opacity. I pulled it as the color over the blue 50% over the black, basically.
Gotcha. So it probably makes sense for me in code to create new colors so that they match the designs.
Got it.
That's kind of a statement, I guess, not really a question. So I would probably do that. And I think for this mock-up that we're building here, I will need 3 colors.
Okay.
So
What colors
I
are
will
those?
do that as part of my steps.
Okay.
I will do that.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and pull up my toolbars here. And I can shout the hexes to you if that helps, or the color name itself. I'm not sure which one you
I'll just copy and paste them when I'm ready to go
Okay.
back in and do that.
Sounds great. then I'm going to go ahead and create a little work session here. Section.
All right, and then I'll get started on my end as well.
Awesome. I love it.
Cool.
All right, I'm just going to call it a little practice section here. So we're just going to start out basically making the component here, the card, because that's predominantly what's on the screen. So I'm just going to command copy that and paste it right here. And so now we can use our little asset panels, pull it from our local components here, and we have our icon, right? So that's not the icon we want, so we're going to scroll down to baseball, and we're going to change that color to blue. Oops. I lost it. All right, let's try again. Local components. All right, now we want baseball. Perfect. And I'm going to change that color to the blue that we have, this highlight blue. And I am just going to select both and put them in a frame. You can call it label as I go, icon plus label. And now I can just select these, the balls and the strikes here, and I'm going to paste it over here. And these are pasted as ungrouped, so because I selected them individually. So all we're going to do is select each one of them, put them in their own frame, and for the time being, we'll just call it numbers. And so now we select our icon plus label and our numbers, put them in the auto layout frame, and we're just going to call this a card. And so for this one, we want to, or for the whole thing, we want to adjust the alignment of it. So you can use your auto layout aligning box here, and so you can put bottom weight them, top weight them. We just want to put them right in the middle. And we want to change our spacing to the auto layout, so let's just put a little 8 there. And we want these to be responsive, so it's not really responding the way we want it to. So we're going to change this to auto, and so now it should, yeah, there we go. And let's put a little bit of padding on either side of this card. There we go. Put a little rounded edges on it, and let's change our color of the card to that, because I think that's what we have up here. All right, so now we have our first card, so we can just do Option Command K. So I will pause right there so that you can kind of share with what you're working on now.
Yeah, so the first thing I did, like I said, as I looked through your style guide here, I knew we're building this screen here, this home screen. And so I knew we were going to need a couple colors. So I took the hex value from the yellow and the blue. I actually need this gray as well, so I'll do that right now in real time. And then over in Xcode, we have what we call XC assets. And here you're able to use color assets and image assets. And so I'll just create a new color right now. What do we call it? Gray light. And then I'm able to paste the hex value here. And now I have the light gray color that we'll need. And we don't have dark mode in the watch. So all of these are just light mode. Or the opposite, whatever, with the watch is with the dark background. I also added the icon for the baseball, the game, and the score. And they look terrible here in Xcode because they're white. But we can render them as a template and then apply any color that we want. So back in my main content view, we have some build errors right now because I'm in the middle of something. I've introduced the usage of a navigation split view, which is not a new component, but in watchOS 10, they made some changes to make the transitions a little nicer. And so if you give me a minute, I think we can fix this. So we can at least get a quick demo of what it looks like. And this is a work in progress. So we should have, so right now we have the three menu items that I'll be building. And then when we tap on one of those, it will take you into the new view. So that's what I'm doing.
Sweet.
Cool.
All right, so we have one other type of card here that isn't necessarily a score. So we have an icon that is representing the innings on this game card. So we're just going to make another card here. And basically we can just duplicate it with that plus button. and we are going to basically copy this guy here. We're gonna make this component, paste here. So now we can just do icon plus number. Yeah, and I'm not calling it inning. I'm just because number I think makes more sense for me. So we can just pull that right out, pop it right in there, and we can just delete that that previous score. And since this is the game, we're going to change that icon to the game, and let's update the color. I think it's highlight blue, and let's go ahead and change that to game. And so now we have our two cards. You can see here that Figma is defaulting it to default and variant 2. We want to actually change the name. So let's just do true and false. And the reason why we're going to do that, did I spell that right? No, I didn't. True and false. So now if we pull this out, we can just turn on and off the type of card it is. And I'm going to pause there and give you an opportunity to update us.
Right. So the next thing I'm going to do is, if we come back to Figma here, I see these menu items as components that I can build. So this first item with the baseball and the batter string, and then this dashed string here, I see that as one component that's reused 3 times here. So I'm going to build a new file. And sorry, my previews aren't working just yet, but I call it a list item card view. And we'll be able to pass in the information about the image and the title and the any details or the string that we're putting a dash in between into this component, and then reuse the component as many times as we need to. So it's just a way to build once and reuse a whole bunch of times. So nice. I'm going to keep plugging away at this.
Perfect. All right. So we have a couple other elements to this screen. We have our basically header here. And the screens we're going to be working on probably next session will have the menu button. So we're going to go ahead and make it with that menu button. And let's go ahead and create that menu button. And we're going to use that local icon here. And I'm going to change it to menu. We're going to put an auto layout around it. And let's change that padding to, not sure if this is the right size I want or not, but let's give it a go. And I'm going to change that rounded edges. And I'm going to do the fill to this 900 here for mono. You can pick any colors you want, but just keep in mind accessibility if you can. And we're going to call this menu. And let's go ahead and make it a component. Option Command K does that. All right, and now we're going to grab this copy here for the time and pull that over. And so now we can make a copy of the component we just made and select both of these, and we're just going to call this the header. Right, and we're going to put a little bit of padding on the left and the right sides. It's usually 1 pixel. From my experience with the Apple Watch, I think this can be adjusted, but it's kind of odd because when you're using layouts on a phone, you're really never going to use just 1 pixel on the left and right sides that I've really ever done. So now let's see if this is responsive. Not yet. So let's change that to auto, and there you have it. Now it's responsive. So now we have our menu, our header, and we have one more component to make. But before I jump into that, did you have any updates that you wanted to give us?
Right. So still working on my, what did I call it? The list item card view. So I have my image displaying right now and the title. And so the next thing I need to do, if I come back, I need to determine whether or not it's going to show a dashed string or if it's going to show the inning indicator. So our previews are working here.
Nice.
But I don't have everything plugged in just yet. So plugging
good.
away at this.
Yeah, it's looking great. All right, so now we have kind of, I guess, the name of the app, but also the header to like what the app is. So let's go ahead and copy this right here, and we're going to paste it here. So we're going to just put a little bit of auto layout around that, so we can kind of control the padding around it if we need to. So let's just call it a section header, so it's distinguishable difference between the previous header we had. And again, the side, probably do like 1 pixel for now until we see how it looks inside the screen. And let's do 4 pixels top and bottom, and let's go ahead and make that a component. All right, and so now we have these 2 headers, and we don't want that to be centered, so we're going to pull that to the left with our little toolbar there. All right, and so now we're ready to put this screen together. So I can hit the A button to access all of my different watch templates that we have here. For the time being, let's just grab this 45 millimeter, and it's defaulting it over here, but we're going to pull it over and put it right next to what we're working on. And now we can change this to black, I believe, background there. All right, and let's just call it home for now. And oh wow, you got the little inning guy there. Sweet.
Yeah. Yep. So this is where like developing, and then we've talked about this before, you can design and develop things like a dozen different ways, and there's not necessarily a right or wrong way to do it. And so I decided to make this one component and make the dashed string or the inning details optional. And in this case, so we I don't know, the first one is the dash string, and the second one is the innings. So I need to figure out why my baseball isn't blue, but we can get there. But yeah, we're getting there. We're almost ready to plug it into the main screen.
Awesome sauce. I love it. All right, so let's go ahead and drop these components into our screen and see if we can build this thing. So let's go ahead and copy, paste it right in the top. And you can use these little guys up here to quickly move it into place. And we're just going to pull it to the side there. And the next one is the section header. So we'll copy that and paste it right inside of there too. And let's pull it down a little bit. And we want that to be the width of the screen. And yeah, I think that's right. Oh, a little bit more to the right. Okay. So now we're going to use both of these, copy and paste. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to put these 2 cards in their own auto layout frame. So let's go ahead and Shift A, and we're going to call it cards plural. And let's change the padding between these to 4 and make sure both of these are responsive. We're going to switch it to fill container. And now we can move all the way to the left. And let's add that 1 pixel padding and open it on up. There we go. So we need 1 more card, right, for the, what was it? The score. Yeah, we need the score. So let's go ahead and just duplicate. And we can go ahead and change the icon in here to the score icon. And obviously change that color to light blue. And let's call it what it is, the score. And now we want to group that section header with this section of cards. And we'll just call it how many outs for now. Or I guess it could be called links. And let's change that padding to 0 because we have padding on this section header. Now what I like to do is line up the copy of the section header with that first icon. So let's see, that's 16 pixels away. So let's go ahead and move or update this padding to 16. And I think that lines up a little bit nicer. And let's go ahead and group these together. And we can just call this home content for now. You can change it wherever you like if you're doing this at home. All right, and that's it. That's pretty much it. We have our home screen. We can go ahead and Option Command K and make this screen a component. And if we pull it out, it should be responsive, but it's not listening to me. So I need to make it responsive. And then you just go back through your layers and making sure everything says fill. because for some reason Figma likes to default things to fixed when most people aren't even doing that, but that's another discussion. All right. I think that's all for me for right this second. I'd love to hear where you're at.
Right. So our component is in good shape. I made it blue. I figured out what I did. Remember when I said I implemented those or I imported those image assets, but we were going to render them as a template
Yeah,
so that
yeah.
we could color them? I forgot to set my rendering mode as template on image. And so I can show you real quick if I get rid of that. My code's broken, but that was why they weren't blue. So back to our main view, and everything looks terrible right now. But um, right now I'm just plugging in our card views. So I need to create three of those, one for each of the menu items, and then we should be about off to the races.
Awesome.
So almost done.
Perfect. All right. I'm going to just show how we can just view this in a quick preview in a prototype to see if our padding is on, off, or how it looks in a device. I forgot to add a starting point. Sometimes you have to do that. You have to add an actual starting point. So let's do, just call it home for now and see if it'll work. Huh, why isn't it showing up? That seems odd. What am I doing wrong? I'm doing something wrong. Preview. Huh. I don't think I've ever had that happen. Oh, that's weird. There it is. All right. So that's the in inline preview box, and let's see how it looks on an actual device. So we got that selected, and let's just do present mode. There we go. You can see all the things that you need to see. The time could be adjusted a little bit so it's not so close to the edge, but everything looks as you might expect it. All right. Oh wow! Look at you go. That looks awesome.
I think we're good. Do we do a demo?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let, let's run it on the simulator. The preview simulator gives you a lot, but it's not quite the same as running on device. I can make this a little bigger.
Nice.
So yeah, so here we go.
Wow.
This is just a list view in watchOS, and I don't know if you can see, but I'm scrolling right here with the digital crown.
Yeah.
But if I select any one of these list items, whoops, there we go. We would come right in here, and the app works like it used to. I can drag, click and tap and drag up and down to go between the screens, or you can use the digital crown.
Oh
Oh,
wow.
you can even.
That's really cool.
And then if I want to come back to my main screen, there we go.
That's
So
awesome.
I think it's implemented.
Well done. I mean, we did that pretty quickly. So I think that was a great way to display that new update. I think it works really well. I'm anxious to play with it myself.
Yeah, this is I've got a game this weekend. I will be making sure it's on my watch,
Oh man,
updated.
perfect user
Oh,
testing.
yeah, I know we talked offline about this, but one thing that I really like about this demo is it's software is constantly evolving, right? You don't release an app and then never update it. So I've released this app and then we're updating it. So we had, Jason, you were able to come in and look at the designs, and you mentioned some things that I think we'll touch on in another demo about accessibility and made some tweaks there. And we were able to create this new home screen. And so, yeah, software is constantly changing. So I really like this demo because it's an example of taking an existing product and then improving it without completely overhauling it. Like we can release this in a week instead of 3 months or something like that.
Exactly. Well, perfect. thanks for letting us play with your app idea for this. I think it will help a lot of people. I know I learned a lot. I didn't even know about the update, so it was cool to be able to play around with that and design something totally different.
Yeah, heck yeah. Thanks a lot. Appreciate the design work too. This is looking great.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. All right, y'all. I think that concludes this little tutorial. But tune in. We're gonna do the batter screen next, and hope y'all are able to join us. Y'all have a good one.